All right, what up, TTC 9 Empire? It's your boy Mailman back at it again. Uh, Want to talk about a little bit about the draft, man. Guys that we picked or whatnot. What all the 49ers did. Um, all in all, I'm a little bit up on it, a little bit down on it. Uh, you know, you could definitely tell this was a Trent Baalke draft. The way that he did this draft, you could tell he had his hands all in it. They even interviewed Chip Kelly, and he was basically saying how he just sat back and looked, and watch Trent work the phones and work the board. So Trent had his hands all over this draft. You could absolutely tell by the selections that were made in this draft. First off, I stated before the draft that I didn't want us to draft Buckner. But we did anyway. I said the year before that I didn't want us to get Armstead, but we did anyway. No use of crying over spilled milk now. They're on the roster. They're here. Trent Baalke has been I get he's been trying to get these big defensive ends, on the outside for the last couple of years. He hasn't been successful at trying to do this kind of defense or whatever kind of vision he's got. He tried to do the same thing with bringing people like Lawrence Okoye in, to have him play DN. He's got this vision of these big defensive ends in the 3-4, but it just really, to be honest with you, it just has not been working. His vision for this defense has just not been working. Whatever he wants to do, But maybe it's a little bit of the scheme and the coaches or whatever. We'll see what Buckner does. I do like Buckner better than I like Armstead. I think Buckner's a little bit better player than Armstead is, but we'll see. That was the first pick of the draft. The second pick, we traded back into the first round, traded with the Kansas City Chiefs, 28th pick. We picked up Joshua Garnett, and I really, really like the Joshua Garnett pick. I thought that was a solid pickup, man. We definitely needed some help on the offensive line, offensive guard being one of them. Now, I will say this. We did address the needs on the offensive line in this draft. We definitely did that. Third round, this is where it got kind of puzzling to me because in the third round, you still had Shalik Calhoun on the board who could have helped you in some pass rush. You still had Kendall Fuller on the board, who was a better cornerback that I felt like than we picked. But we picked Will Redmond out of Mississippi State. That right there kind of puzzled me because, like I said, you still had Kendall Fuller, who I really liked as a cornerback, and you had Shalik Calhoun. And, we went in the direction of Will Redmond, who is coming off an ACL injury. That's when it started to get puzzling to me. That it just sounds like a bulky pick. Is like I said, you never know what you're gonna get out of this dude. I wasn't satisfied with that pick, but it's okay. Hey, he's here. You gotta do what you gotta do. And then the fourth round, we selected Rashard Robinson. So we went back-to-back corners. And I'm not saying that, we shouldn't have picked the corner. I think that we should have picked the corner in the third, but I would have went with Kendall Fuller. That's just me. I wouldn't have went back-to-back corners third and fourth round. Don't know why we did that. You had some other options out there. We didn't address the inside linebacker position at all. I don't know why, it was a few games last year where we got scorched running the ball. When we went to Seattle, we got scorched. We played the Browns, we got scorched on the ground. I mean, it was a few games where the inside linebacker play next to Bowman. I'm talking about Will Horton Hodges did not play up to par. They just really did not. I don't know, and what I'm saying, I know 49er fans, maybe somebody might criticize me, but can we really say we were really, really satisfied with the level of inside linebacker play next to Bowman, I didn't really too much like it. That's just me. I thought we could have been a whole lot better in that area, but obviously, for whatever reason, it is what it is. I didn't. I mean, there was some areas last year where we struggled in, and that was one of them. Cornerback position was another one. We an offensive line, which I think that we solved the offensive line issues. I feel like we did, anyways. I feel much better about it, but I don't know, man. I don't know what direction we going. Anyways, let me read off the rest of the picks. Now, 5th round, we picked Ronald Blair. Now, I like the Ronald Blair pick. I really, really do. I thought that was a solid pick. He's a defensive end. I don't know what our plans for him are. I don't know if we're going to play him as a defensive end in the 3-4. I heard him in the interview talking about, he had lost some weight, dropped some weight down. I don't know if he's going to, try to drop weight to try to play outside linebacker. I'm hoping that he does. Seems like he's an excellent pass rusher. That's something that we need to create some competition, definitely with Corey Lemonier, because Lemonier can go ahead and hit the bricks. Ronald Blair, nice pickup by the 49ers, I like the Joshua Garnett pick, and I like the Ronald Blair pick. Those were two picks I really like. Then in another 5th round pick, John Theus, offensive tackle, Georgia. Building depth on the offensive line. I'm okay with that. But then, we went back-to-back tackles, though. We went Fan Cooper from Ole Miss. I was trying to understand why the back-to-back picks at tackle when still inside linebacker hadn't been addressed. We could have possibly went with a quarterback, maybe right there, which, I'm going to get to the quarterback in a minute. We possibly maybe could have got something else, what I'm saying, besides all that. Or maybe, trade out. Or we could have got maybe a little bit better wide receiver. But that's okay, After that, after Cooper, we picked Jeff Driscoll. This was somebody I said I was interested in before the draft. Of course, Jeff Driscoll's not going to be no day one starter. He's just kind of like a project player, somebody that needs some time to kind of develop, kind of like when Kaepernick came in. He's not ready to get put out into the fire, but I do think that he could be very, very good in Chip Kelly's scheme. So, we can work with Jeff Driscoll and see what happens. Kelvin Taylor, the son of Fred Taylor, we picked him a running back out of Florida. We really didn't need a running back, but, we picked him anyway. Aaron Burbridge, wide receiver out of Michigan State. Doesn't seem like he's a bad player. My only knock on Burbridge is he only had one really, really good productive season at Michigan State. But we'll see. Not really that bad of a pick, in the 6th round. Not that bad of a pick. In the 7th round pick, we picked another cornerback, Prince Charles Iora from Western Kentucky. So we went 3 cornerbacks in this draft. That's just telling me right there that Balky feels like he's not satisfied with the corners that we have right now. And he's admitting to making mistakes on the cornerbacks that we got on the roster. That's all I got for now. I go into more detail about other shit that we got. But that's it. This your boy Mailman. I see you when I see you, and I am out.